It's a confusing picture when looking at U.S. travel restrictions. There are no countrywide rules, and each state has different mandates on who it is letting in and what travelers can do once they arrive. Some quarantine rules are voluntary, some are mandatory. Some require negative COVID-19 tests as a way to be released from self-isolation, some ask for the full 14 days, regardless. New England states, Hawaii and Alaska are the strictest, with New York recently announcing it would require negative COVID-19 tests from all out-of-state arrivals from the 4th of November onwards. Chicago and Honolulu are the only cities which currently have different travel restrictions to statewide regulations. The same states that had travel restrictions in place in mid-October are still the same states which have travel restrictions in place at the beginning of November. However, these states have rapidly tightened free movement in the past 2 weeks, adding states to quarantine lists in line with soaring COVID-19 infection rates. The following states do not currently have any statewide travel restrictions: Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, although wildfires are limiting travel around the state, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, although visitors to the 7 Indian reservations should check, Nebraska, Nevada, North Carolina, although the state suggests checking at local destinations, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, South Dakota, although roads through Native American reservations might be closed, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Virginia, Washington State, although wildfire conditions need to be monitored, West Virginia, and Wyoming. These are Alaska, Connecticut, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Kentucky, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Wisconsin. Washington, D.C. also has travel restrictions. Since August 11th, visitors arriving from other states must have proof of a negative COVID-19 test and a travel declaration, a form from their boss if traveling for work, or pay $250 for a COVID-19 test and self-quarantine until the results come through. Travelers arriving into Connecticut from a state where they have spent more than 24 hours and which has a higher infection rate than 10 per 100,000 people must quarantine for 14 days. The only way to avoid this quarantine is to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test taken in the past 72 hours. Written proof of the negative result must be emailed to the Commissioner of Public Health, DPH. COVID-travel@ct.gov